Here's another installment of video games being blamed for all sorts of stupid things. So there was a riot that happens in France because the police ended the life of a 17-year-old. And no, I double checked, this isn't America, this is France. A riot happened because the police made a huge mistake that cost someone's life. So why am I talking about a recent event as tragic as this? Well, the French president, Emmanuel Macron, said that the riots happened because the rioters are copying video games. Yes, the history has repeated itself once again. Video games are to blame for pretty much everything else in life at this point. So let's get to why Macron blames video games for this whole garbage. Well, actually, he talks about social media at first. Social media plays a significant role during the riots. Snapchat, TikTok, and many others play a role at gathering the people and organizing the riots and everything like that, which for the youngest leads to a kind of disconnect in reality. You know what else is a disconnect in reality? Blaming video games for the whole thing.
I gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
He continues by saying that these rioters are acting out the video games that have poisoned their minds. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but how many of those rioters actually play video games? And what kind of games do they even play to cause these riots? You think Fortnite or Roblox caused the whole chaos? What, do these rioters lost a freaking gacha role in Genshin or Honkai or Fate Go? What's with this shift of responsibility here? But do you guys want an absolute whopper? Let me play this clip just for context.
We have a very special guest. Let's play that music.
What? I like the music.
Give it up to
Harada-san, here in the building, our fearless leader, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Harada-san, the undisputed, undeniable god of Tekken, just came into the fray and just bodied Macron with some statements. And I'll just read it with my normal voice because it's exactly what I want to say. Blaming something is a great way to escape the burden of responsibility, such as children not studying because of video games. People are being violent because of video games. Video games are the reason my life isn't going well. And in the near future, video games will be responsible for every threat that occurs on Earth.
Wow, what do you say after that one? Brutal, savage, wrecked. Absolutely taken down.
Jeez, Harada-san, you should chill out now for a bit. You're bodying poor Macron way too hard. I think this whole tragedy is just emblematic to a lot of politicians running this country. They have no idea what they're talking about. They chose to shift the blame to something else that has nothing to do with anything. And in doing so, they don't resolve the issues that the country has and continue the problems until eternity. And that's if I assume idiocy instead of malice. If I assume malice, maybe they do know what they're doing and they're just pretending to be dumb the whole time. This is why our world keeps on having the same freaking problems every day. And that's all I want to say in that topic, but if you stay tuned, we got a couple more hooplas that I want to talk about that I already covered in my APB Show channel, link down below, go subscribe. Let's get to the other hooplas, shall we? I have no idea what Elon Musk is doing right now. Seriously, the management of Twitter is in utter freaking chaos. A couple of weeks ago, he decided to limit tweets that you can read for reasons that are still baffling people even to this day. No, those are not tweets that you can post. Those are tweets that you read. Some says it's because the whole site was DDoSing itself and Elon wants to cover that up with this stupid policy, but it's just one theory out of the many theories out there. It's definitely not because he didn't pay Google Cloud bills. Turns out he did, so good on him, I guess. So thanks to Elon Musk screwing up the website, it's no surprise that other owners of big social media, like Mark Zuckerberg, decides to create his own Twitter competition called Threads. I actually really like the design of the logo. It's a sewing thread that forms the ad symbol. It's kind of clever and minimalistic. But that's not what this is about. This is about the website itself. Is Threads gonna be a good competition for Twitter, or is it gonna be trash? Honestly, right now, we don't really know. People's experience has been a mixed bag. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. The thing about social media that makes it engaging to me is the people that I follow. But the problem with Threads is that the people that I follow are mostly from Instagram, and most of them are my close and personal friends, and I'm not really a fan of the stuff that they posted. I'm more of a fan of the stuff that's posted on Twitter, especially if I can turn them to something entertaining and worthy to talk about on a video or on a stream, which happens every week at this point. What I do know is that Threads so far has some really unintuitive design about it. It's not just the fact that it's tied to Instagram and therefore tied to Facebook, and Facebook is stealing all sorts of information from you. My girlfriend browses a lot of Facebook, and let me tell you, the content that's being delivered in there is just a load of garbage, but it's specifically designed to keep your attention. It's just devious and evil how it's designed, if you ask me. And because of Facebook being unconcerned about your privacy, the Threads app is delayed on Europe because Europe has the GDPR rules that make it so that your privacy is the most important of all. Not only that, but you can't post them 18 plus anime titties on Threads. You can on Twitter, but not on Threads. So that's a huge blow on Zuckerberg's part. And one more reason why I'm not a fan of this website. You know the other social media that I'm not a fan of? Gab. I am definitely not a fan of Gab. I talked about Gab a couple of times in the past, and here's another installment of them being really stupid. Stone Toss made this comic talking about how there are more censorship on Threads than it was on Twitter. Again, you can't post anime titties on Twitter, but not on Threads, and certainly not on Gab. But Andrew Torba, the base anti-censorship owner of the website, inserts himself into the comic and says that Gab has no censorship. Yes, Gab has no censorship, except if you post 18 plus content, in which case there is censorship. Also, I love how as someone who has a social media that advertises no censorship, he limits his replies on Twitter. Now, yes, Gab doesn't need to post 18 plus content in the same way I don't need to post 18 plus content on my YouTube channel. And I understand that not everything in life is about them 18 plus anime titties. Just about 90% of things in life, actually. I'm just saying it's the principle of freedom of speech that me and loads of other people have disagreements with Gab, and Gab makes its stance very clear on 18 plus content and how they are sinful and satanic. I don't have issues with them not posting 18 plus content on their website. I have issues with the reasoning, and their reasoning is a lot of nonsense. Claiming that 18 plus art isn't covered under free speech or freedom of expression is the best way for you to alienate your audiences who are pro free speech and freedom of expression. So whatever Gab is claiming here, don't believe it. They are the kinds of people that would make the same kinds of take that Macron did. Just because you agree with them about how big tech social media are cringe doesn't mean they are your friend. This is one of those times where you genuinely have to wonder, or at least I have to wonder, are the people that say that men on average are smarter than women actually smarter than women? My husband is mad that I have a higher IQ, and he says that he is not attracted to me anymore. I mean, that's the skill issue on your husband's part. The noob! So to make a long story short, the wife takes an IQ test and she scores pretty high on the IQ test, which upsets her husband because how dare she for being smarter than him? The husband acknowledged that this is a really silly thing and has been wary on her ever since. So what do you think she should do? Well, the thing about life in general is that there is more to life than just being intelligent. If you think that being intelligent means that you understand science a lot more than other people, you are incredibly mistaken. There are actually many types of intelligences around the world. Spatial, linguistic, interpersonal, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, existential, musical, and also naturalist. Living in this world is not just about the logical. Maybe women on average are less intelligent on the logical side, but they are certainly more intelligent on the other side. Just because women lose in some battles with the men doesn't mean that men are going to win in every battle with the women. There's a reason why we have loads of mindless sims and women just exploiting the crap out of them. Maybe in this case the wife is intelligent in the logical side, but that doesn't mean you as a husband are useless. You are still useful and she still loves you for who you are. Don't let the fact that your significant other is dumber than you drag you down. Chalk Zone, classic Nickelodeon cartoon, one of my favorites in my childhood. Rudy is smart artistically, but Penny is smart logically. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, relationship is about working together as a team, be responsible to each other, and be willing to deal with your partner's issues. That's precisely why I don't recommend it to everyone, because it's complicating, it's tiresome, it's a lot of responsibilities. Relationship is work, the same way school is work, or actual work is work. The reason why the human race is doomed is because we have way too many parents that are not ready to be parents. We have way too many people that are stupid in regards to this sort of stuff. If you're the lazy bum type of person who just likes to sit your asses all day doing nothing and not have someone shout at you the other side of the door about how you're doing nothing, then go ahead and sit your asses all day. Do absolutely freaking nothing and never ever interact with any other human being in the world ever. But if you are willing to make the commitment with someone else, then you'll have to be ready with all the BS that comes with it. I already talked about internet ads in the past and how they are at this really weird conundrum where they are both important to certain people and horrible to certain people. I do recommend people turning on ad blockers for all sorts of situations because there are loads of websites out there that are just absolutely freaking nuts with their ads and they are going to mislead you into all sorts of stuff. Keep yourself safe online basically. But according to this person, ad blocker is theft. Ad blocker is theft. and ad blocker is theft. That is actually similar to what Linus said during one of his WAN shows, where he said something along the lines of how ad blockers are piracy, which I can actually see where he's coming from, but considering that I am a pirate, that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
Your heart fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a wretched thing. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
If browsing the internet is like sailing the seas, ad blocking is like arming your ship with cannons. So keep yourself safe, guys, and arm yourselves away. What's really funny is that this tweet got context checked by Twitter that shows an article of someone named Alex Springer who sued Adblock Plus and lost his court. I don't recommend Adblock Plus, by the way. I recommend uBlock Origin. It's much better, it's open source, which means it's transparent about its development, and you can see that it's not sending any malicious data to third party. And that's all for the video today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in this video. If you love this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. And also huge thanks to all of these wonderful and amazing individuals. If you want to see your names among these legends, check out the links down below where you can donate just $1 and it supports the channel quite a lot. Seriously, thank you so much, and I will see you all next time.